Thank you for coming, Monsignor. I didn't mean to alarm you, but it's important.
We couldn't get him to stay in the hospital for more than half a day. Did the hospital treat him correctly or not?
They spotted this anterior traumatic luxation and hairline fracture here.
How serious is it?
Frankly, it's what doesn't show here that worries me.
What do you mean?
I can't make a diagnosis without further tests.
What tests?
Neurological. I know how the Holy Father feels about clinical exams. But sooner or later, he has to be convinced. Sooner, not later.
What do you suspect?
The Holy Father fell. There's no doubt about that. We all saw it. But he didn't trip on anything. And we want to know why he fell. Monsignor, please help me.
Of course, Doctor.
I brought some refreshments, Holy Father.
Thank you. What's wrong?
Holy Father, may I speak?
Of course.
I studied medicine. That's why I am here with you.
I know. And I'm very grateful for the medicine you inflict on me with such kindness.
Are you teasing me, Holy Father?
No. No, I managed to be serious once in a while.
I want you to submit to all the tests that someone with your responsibilities and your age should have regularly.
So your kindness extends to calling me an old man now?
That's not what I meant.
Stasio, did you put her up to this?
No, absolutely not. She mentioned it to me and I agreed. Dr. Buzzanetti is insisting on it and I think we should listen.
If I want to know something about my health, I just have to read the papers. The worst thing is that I can't write left-handed.
You don't need to. Please, come in.
Oh. Stanisław Ryłko. So you are going to be my right hand right now. It's about time the Pope's office was computerized. Why are we always so late with things? No. Let's change this part. Make it... We must not be afraid of the future. Let's not be afraid of the future. You are or will be scientists. This is the question you must ask. Does my research, my work, make human life on Earth more human? Does it make life more worthy of man? This is the question you must ask.
Holy Father, I've read your letter to women. It moved me very much. I just wanted to let you know, that's all.
Thank you. You give me the opportunity to repeat my thanks to women, to whom humanity owes an incalculable debt. But thanks aren't enough. The liberation of women from every form of abuse and exploitation is far from accomplished.
Right here.
In many parts of the world, too many obstacles keep women from being appreciated and respected. And it must be said that in the Church itself, certain forms of discrimination against women persist.
You speak mostly to young audiences. Why?
There's a Polish proverb that says, "Z jakim przestajesz, takim się stajesz." You want to know what it means? It means you end up resembling the company you keep. I need your strength, your will to live. You look for comprehensive answers to eternal questions. And when you do that, even without knowing it or wanting it, you are looking for God.
Holy Father, my name is Julia Ritter. I met you at the hospital in Uganda. I appreciated your words very much, but I must ask a question. How can the Church, which claims to be on the side of mankind, be so rigid and so severe and so far removed from the people when it comes to their sexuality?
It is not a question of being severe. If we consider the dignity of the human being as a person, it is clear that sexuality cannot be separated from love. In the union of two souls and two bodies, there must be mutual devotion and respect. That's what the moral law, which lies in man's heart, tells us.
Not now, excuse me. Oh, my dear colleague. The Holy Father has no central neurological lesions.
Good news then?
Not entirely, Father. My suspicions have been confirmed, and they must be accepted once and for all. The Holy Father has Parkinson's disease. And pretending he is feeling well is of no help at all.
I'm glad to see you again.
I was thrilled by your invitation.
I owe you a more complete answer.
When I spoke, I didn't mean to be antagonistic. I was simply asking questions that many Catholics ask every day. I'm faced daily with the misery of AIDS in Africa.
I know, and thank you for what you are doing. The tragedy of people dying in Africa is a tragedy for the entire human race. Unfortunately, no one has found an effective solution yet. We can try, however, to build a more human world in which the dignity of the individual is respected. But please, feel free to ask wherever you want.
Why must the Church continue to dig in its heels against contraception and abortion?
Julia, the Church proclaims the value of human life, its sacredness and its inviolable nature.
200,000 women a year die from illegal abortions. If they had access to contraception, they would live.
It's our duty to defend their lives. It could not be done, however, if the only choice is between contraception and abortion. The Church wants men and women to take the responsibility for their relationships and to defend the purity of love and sexuality.
This is a spiritual argument. It's too far removed from reality.
That reality can never change without the spiritual conception of the individual. That requires teaching everyone to realize her or his own dignity. Many more women would still be alive if their dignity had been respected.
Now, what do I say to the AIDS patient who refuses abstinence? Or the mother who's struggling to feed the children that she has but doesn't want anymore?
You're a doctor. I'm a spiritual guide. You can't allow yourself to give a wrong diagnosis, and I can't refuse to tell the truth about men according to the gospel. If you're a patient, if someone is really in love, he or she would not allow that love to spread death. Easy solutions don't help man to be himself, to respect himself. And if he is not capable of this, he won't be capable of loving and respecting others.
Why can't the Church forget these abstract concepts and see people's pain and confusion and imperfections, life as it is, not as it should be?
But that's not true, Julia. The Church cares deeply about people's pain and confusion. We don't deal in abstract concepts, but in the profound meaning of life and man.
Don't you see the world isn't listening to you?
The rich materialistic world is not the whole world.
But it's the world that can make choices.
The choice itself is not enough. The respect of human life does not depend on anyone's choice, but on basic human dignity. Nobody can choose imposing the rules of the rich on poor people.
President Clinton, who will be here next week, you are to discuss the subject of how to deal with world poverty.
His way. With sterilization campaigns imposed on poor countries as preconditions for international aid.
We know we can't change his mind. It will simply be a symbolic visit, a courtesy call.
Can we find a way to intervene more strongly at the United Nations?
Our delegation has expressed the point of view of the Holy See, but it was very vigorously contested.
Why? Why do they refuse to consider our propositions?
Because, Your Holiness, they find them to be unrealistic, too tied to our religious convictions, and most important, contrary to women's liberation.
Your Eminence, who do we have representing us in these discussions?
Our very best minds, our best diplomats.
All men, I suppose.
What do you mean, Holy Father?
Let's put a team together made up entirely of women and send them to the next United Nations conference in Peking.
Women? To represent the Holy Father at an international assembly debating the future of the world?
Exactly. Intelligent, competent in their field, and possessing the appropriate talent to make their voices heard. Here's a list of possible candidates.
Do you feel pain, Holiness?
Oh, that's painful.
I'm afraid that it's your hip, Holiness.
Old people's fracture.
Call an ambulance.
No, it was just a silly accident.
Did you trip on something?
No, I don't think so. I can't really explain how it happened. Maybe I slipped. All of a sudden, I was on the floor. I know. This sort of fracture often calls for an operation. So be it. But, Doctor, please just get me back on my feet, okay?
Any news? No, it's too soon. Maybe...
Are you in much pain?
No more than I deserve.
They had to put in a prosthesis.
What does that mean?
That your recovery won't be quick. When you're able to get out of bed, you'll need that. Just for a while. I'll let you rest now.
Thank you. I just broke a leg. You don't run the church with your legs.
Please.
Do I have to drink all of this?
Yes. Thank you.
And yet it moves.
Holy Father.
My dear patient doctor, come with me. So what is this important news?
Your falls. There has to be a reason for them.
I slipped. Sit down. All right. Then tell me.
You have a degenerative disease, an extrapyramidal syndrome.
You mean the trembling in my left hand?
That's a symptom of what's commonly called Parkinson's disease.
Rather common in older people, I understand. But it's not that invalidating, is it?
You'll have to take care of yourself, Holy Father.
I just want to be able to keep working.
Then it's essential that you take your medication regularly, at the prescribed time. Is that clear?
You mean I haven't been a good patient and didn't take some pills?
Hey, it's not a matter of some pills. Forgive me, Holy Father.
See? Slips happen. Of course I forgive you. Because I appreciate your science and your passion, too. If I do more to cooperate with Sister Tobiana and her pills, will I see some improvement?
Parkinson's disease advances with time. Medication can only slow down that advance.
You mean the science has limits? I was afraid of that. Well, I guess I will still have problems buttoning my cassock.
Holy Father, the trembling will increase.
I will be more careful.
You will lose muscle tone. Speaking and swallowing will become more and more difficult. You will have to think out every move you make. They will no longer be reflexive, automatic, as you would expect. You'll have to exercise every day to prepare for the challenges you'll face.
I know you're concerned about me. But my life and my future are in the hands of God. More than in yours, so do not worry. In my free time, I will even follow your orders. Thank you, Doctor. It's a new sensation. My mind goes faster than my body. It's a bit like being shipwrecked, you know? You can see land, but the waves are pushing you backwards. And they are stronger than your arms.
I know all about that shipwreck, Holy Father. It's called old age.
Yes, old age. It's the most difficult part of our life. And the most important. It's a hard cross to bear.
Is God telling us we haven't done enough?
Yes.
Holy Father.
Ah. Is that the medicine that keeps me still or gets me going?
It prevents infection.
I've been thinking about how a certain culture today is trying to banish pain and suffering from the world. The sick are treated as substandard beings, a weight on society, and pain is seen as useless cruelty.
People without faith can understand why suffering can express who we are and our redemption.
Well put, Sister Tovia. You're more concise than I am. The latest reports on Bosnia. Ah, thank you. Please get word to Cardinal Sodano that I need to speak with him urgently. Certainly, Father.
Conditions for going to Bosnia are not encouraging at the moment, Holiness.
I can't just resign myself to the suffering of those people.
Too dangerous, Holy Father.
Perhaps the Pope can't change the world. But he can bring words of hope and love. I can still do that. You know how long I have been waiting for this. He's going to Bosnia.
When?
The 12th.
Tried to get him to put it off for a while. He still has a high fever.
How long has he been taking the antibiotics?
5 days.
Oh. Hello, Doctor. I know what you are going to say.
It's unwise for someone in your condition.
I always thought you were an optimist like me. What happened?
I'm a doctor.
And you don't believe in divine providence?
Of course, but...
But?
I see. It's hopeless. You already made up your mind.
The first person to die in the war was a girl of about 20, Swada Delberovich. It happened here. They were going to the barricades, unarmed, for a peaceful demonstration, when the snipers started shooting. Further on, an Italian volunteer went down, Gabriele Locatelli. He wanted to offer bread to both the Serb and the Bosnian soldiers, as a sign of peace. That is where Bosco and Admira died. They had been together for 9 years. They met in school. She was a Muslim, he an Orthodox Christian. They were going to run away to get married. Both sides had promised them safe passage. They were left there for 5 days. Almost 500,000 died in the Balkans, 10,000 in Sarajevo alone, in the middle of Europe. The people of this country have not yet had justice. Many of those responsible are still free and protected.
Are you all right, Holy Father? We can postpone the ceremony for a few hours.
No, they have waited only too long already. When people have even tried to kill hope, what comfort can words bring?
I'm offering myself to the Lord so that He will hear your prayers.
My prayers are for your health. I'm glad there are two of us praying for the same thing.
Holy Father, I'm sure you are praying for me. But I'm just as sure I'm not the only one you're praying for. And that comforts me.
As we speak, I can see the words you put on your wall. Christ's call from the cross. I thirst. We all thirst. We are all in need.
Holy Father.
Your
Eminence. So how are plans for World Youth Day progressing?
To be honest, several French bishops advise against the Holy Father going to Paris.
But I have to meet with the young people.
That's just the point. It's planned for August, and the French bishops are certain that the youth won't come. They're afraid of a serious public humiliation. A fiasco.
And do you agree, Your Eminence?
I personally think you should go. But at the same time, consider the objections that have been raised.
In Manila, there were almost 3 million people. Joyous people. All under 30.
You know that in Europe it's different.
Years ago in Paris, something very special happened to me. I was leaving a group of young people I had been speaking to, and suddenly I heard a boy shouting,
Pope Jean Paul! Pope Jean Paul!
Pope John Paul! Pope John Paul!
Pope Jean Paul! I'm an atheist. I don't understand faith. And what do you believe? Why do you believe? What's life worth? What's your God like?
You see, Your Eminence, I have to go to Paris. I have to answer that boy. Years ago, one of your companions asked me, "Why do you believe?" He claimed to be an atheist, but deep down he was a seeker of God, because each of us has his or her own personal story and has a special desire to see God. A desire that we feel at the very moment we discover life and nature. Remember, we are all capable of great things if we refuse to be defeated by the fear of our own weakness. The future is in your eyes.
Naked on the cross, abandoned and scorned by all. The ultimate sacrifice for love. The door to eternity opening, and I thank heaven for my life.
They say I created too many saints. The vocation to sainthood is universal. It is not reserved for martyrs or heroes, for special or privileged people. Sainthood is living a true Christian life every day. It means choosing love, like Mother Teresa did.
What is all this?
I thought we were here to discuss the 2000 Jubilee.
Why is there mention here of the Church having to bear blame?
Thank you for your presence. I propose
that this holy year be a year of purification of our hearts, our consciences, and our memory.
The Church recognizes the errors and mistakes committed by its sons in the course of history. We ask forgiveness, and we confess our responsibility for the evils of today. We ask forgiveness. We ask forgiveness for the divisions that have appeared between Christians. We ask forgiveness, and we forgive. From here, Moses saw the promised land before he died, knowing he could never enter it. This is what Moses saw: the promised land, the land of peace, of justice, of happiness, of love. He saw it from far away.
Another war in Iraq. It would be disastrous. I belong to the generation that lived through the Second World War and survived. It is my duty to tell all the young, all who are younger than me and haven't seen what I have seen. It is my duty to tell them, no more war. No more war! This is my body, which was sacrificed for your sake.
Holy Father.
They are calling it a preemptive war, but I simply call it war. And those who started it will answer for it before God. Humanity doesn't need distraction. It needs construction. It doesn't need walls, it needs bridges. In such a dramatic situation, we feel the need to raise our voices to God. It is my intention to invite representatives of all the world's religions to pray together once again, especially Christians and Muslims, to proclaim that no religion will ever again allow hatred and death to have the last word.
You know you are hitting the Pope.
Isn't the Holy Father reading?
He's running a fever.
I'll call a doctor. Take him to his room.
Eminence.
How is he?
Acute laryngotracheitis. We can't afford to ignore his condition. It's too serious.
How serious?
The Holy Father never wanted to listen to me. But this time, complete rest is essential. Please cancel all his appointments.
We should issue a medical statement.
What can we say?
The truth. Flu syndrome.
It's the season for it?
Yes, Father Stanislaw. It's the season. Can you have them prepare a room for me? I want to stay close.
Yes, of course.
Doctor, he's having another attack.
Did you give him the extra milligrams of cortisone?
Yes, but this time he didn't react.
We have to move him to the hospital.
We can't. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. It's time to begin preparations for Easter.
Please, I must insist, if we don't get you to a hospital immediately, you will suffocate. Please, Holy Father, please. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Feeling a little better?
Thank you. I have to go back home.
No, not yet. Not yet, Holy Father. Please, be patient. We have to be sure you're not risking further complications.
All right, but I refuse to be your prisoner for much longer. I need time to pray and to work.
It's a respiratory question now. He won't listen to us, so we'll do what he is essentially asking us to do. Please, Sister Fabiana.
Yes, Father?
Let's go home.
It's very unwise to leave so soon.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but the Holy Father was very insistent. Don't worry, we're taking part of the hospital with us.
In his case, it may not be enough.
I'll do that. Don't worry, sister.
Holy Father, your larynx is obstructed, constricted, which keeps you from breathing normally. We want to do a tracheotomy. No, don't worry. It's a simple operation. We must make a small incision in the throat, thus allowing more air to reach the lungs.
Doctor, he had told me that he wanted to know if he can't wait until summer during his vacation.
It has to be done before tomorrow. But the operation is quite simple, really.
Simple. For whom?
You're right.
But afterwards, he will be better.
He will breathe better. But as far as speech, we don't have a choice.
Doctor, if something happened to me, I want to be in my home.
All right. Let's do this simple incision and get you right back home. You have my word. How do you feel now? No. Holy Father, don't force it. You mustn't use your voice for the moment.
What have you done to me? Dr. Buzonetti.
Yes?
Can we do something to help him speak? It's so important for him.
I feel as bad as you do, Father. We will try everything possible. I promise.
Thank you, Doctor.
We open our mouth and say, breathe in. Stop. And now we say, breathe in. Now say, hi.
Holy Father, that's enough. You mustn't wear yourself out. Are you ready?
He has scattered those who are proud of their innermost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble. But has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty-handed.
His blood pressure is sinking.
It's the third time today.
He's in shock. Quickly.
He said, let me go back to the house of my father.
Błogosławionaś Ty między niewiastami i błogosławiony owoc żywota Twojego, Jezus. Święta Mario, Matko Boża, módl się za nami grzesznymi, teraz i w godzinie śmierci naszej. Amen.
Ciebie, Boga, wysławiamy.
Tobie, Panu, wieczna chwała. Ciebie, Ojca niebios bramy. Ciebie wielbi ziemia cała. Tobie wszyscy aniołowie. Tobie moce i niebiosy.
Watch, therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord will come. These words remind me of the last call that will come. I want all that is part of my earthly life to prepare me for this moment. I do not know when it will come, but I place this moment, like all other things, in the hands of the mother of my master. Totus tuus. In these same motherly hands I leave everything, and everyone with whom my life and my vocation have brought me into contact. In these hands I above all leave the church, and also my nation, and all mankind. I thank everyone. I ask everyone for forgiveness.